Hello. Good morning, everybody. It is good to see you. It is 5 January 2023, and we are in the blended Bible reading plan. What an exciting time. So today, we are reading Genesis chapter 9 from verse 8 all the way to chapter 10, verse 32, and Psalm chapter 4, verse 1 to 8, Proverbs 1, verse 10 to 14, and Matthew chapter 4 verse 21 all the way to chapter 5 verse 12. I am excited. We will repeat this again as I offload along the way. Now let us look at a verse that jumped out to me this morning. Genesis chapter 5 verse 13. It says, I have placed my bow in the clouds. It will be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Whenever I form clouds over the earth and the bow appears on the cloud, I will remember my covenant with you. Oh, wow. What an exciting thing. Is there a sign that God has given you that throughout the year you will be looking at that sign and you will be reminded that God is with you and that God will not do a certain thing or he will do a certain thing? You know, God has been so big throughout, the history of time that he wants to give us a sign so we know what is coming. He gave us a sign that Jesus will be coming by saying that there will be a virgin that will give birth to a son. What an amazing thing. What a big sign. And then the wise men followed a star and then they found him. How about that? So this year, may God show you a sign that will remind you of who you are and what you are about in this world. Well, it says in verse 17, God said to Noah, this is the sign of the covenant that I have confirmed between me and all flesh of the earth. What a brilliant thing. Do you know, one time I was reading the book of Hosea, and God says to him, go and marry a prostitute. And then he gives children names that were prophetic, and then he says, I and my children are for signs and for wonders, because the Bible had specifically said excuse me, by the time that one of the children would be crawling, something would happen. So this year, may God show you signs and wonders. Now, verse 20, Noah was a man of the soil, a tiller of the ground, and he planted his first vineyard. And then Noah got drunk. Guy, listen, friends, whatever you plant this year, let it not get you drunk. Let it not confuse you. Whatever project God gives you to do and it becomes a success, make sure that it doesn't get you drunk and gets to your head and you end up losing your dignity. There are many that God has given wealth, God has given ideas, and now you are drunk by that thing that God gave you. Don't get drunk. Don't get high from what God has given you. A vine is not only for you to get drunk and get drunk, but it's for you to also enjoy other things that come from the vine. So God has given you a project this year, an idea this year. Work it with dignity, but do not get drunk by it, because then later on something happens. The children see Noah's nakedness, and there are people who have become naked because of the much money they have. They're doing foolish things because God gave you money. So watch yourself in 2023. So we move to chapter 10, another verse that jumped out to me, verse 20. These are the Aham's sons by their clans, according to their languages, in their own lands and in their own nations. Isn't it amazing that God has given you to be born the language that you have? Listen, I'm okay. Speak English. I think I speak good English, but I also speak very good Ndebele, and I speak very good Shona. So don't you think that God gave you your language? Oh, I'm about to pop water. Let me calm down. So, God gave you your mother tongue so that you could speak it. How can you be Zimbabwean, born here in Zimbabwe, and you are suddenly singing Moroi Amai, Moroi Zita Rango de Retendo? God gave them according to their language. Yeah, if you are born in the diaspora, try. Let your parents try. Please try. God gave you your language. God gave you your clan. That's your identity. There is a blessing in being who you are. And if you go to Acts chapter 17, one of my favorite verses, and then again, I love the Bible. All scripture is given, God breathed, and it will help. your life. So Acts chapter 17 verse 24 says that God, from verse 24 going down, it says that he gave them lands, time in history and places where they would dwell. God is not a fool to have put you in that country where you are, for you to have been born by that set of parents in that nation where you're coming from. Can you hear me? God bless you as you listen to me further. Psalms chapter 4 verse 1 to 8. I'm very excited today. Oh, why am I excited today? Oh, I'm excited. Tomorrow is my birthday. I'm turning 42. So that's why I'm hyped up today. But anyway, let's read Psalms chapter 4 from verse 1 to 8. It says, verse 2, how long, exalted man, will my honor be insulted? How long will you love what is worthless and pursue a lie?